Hi everyone, this is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your November 20th to the 30th, 2023 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, so thank you so much for doing so. If you're interested in entering to receive a free reading from me, put a turkey in the comment box. A person will be chosen at random at the end of the month, and I will be making a separate video to announce the winner. So keep your eyes open for that, and don't be scammed by anybody contacting you saying they're me, they're not. If you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. And if you're interested in the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Cancer, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It's interesting. So we're ending off Scorpio period, right? So Scorpio time frame ends on November 21st. We have the death card reversed, which can mean those last 2 days can be a little bit intense for us. So just be mindful about that here, Cancer. We then have the 6 of Cups, childhood things. All right, kind of the past is going to come forward very, very strongly. It can also feel more real than the present that we are in now. So just be aware of this. The Ace of Wands comes into play, which is a gift from God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe. And this is a gift of passion, creativity, fire, determination. So that's coming forward here, and we're definitely taking it. We then have the moon reversed. So this is Pisces energy. Now, if we have Pisces in our chart, this can mean that we're not in alignment with that energy, with the Pisces energy within us. If we have Pisces in our lives, we can find them a little bit more challenging than we normally do. So just being aware of that, but also being aware that there's a change going on in our lives. We see that here also with the death card reversed, that there's some sort of change that's coming forward in our lives that we are fighting against, that we are overwhelmed by for one reason or another. So acknowledging this is going to be super important. With the 8 of Pentacles, this is a fantastic time for hard work, dedication, determination, focus, getting the job done. We can really dive into our work more and more during this time. So just be aware of that we can kind of use it almost as an escape from anything else. It's kind of like, no, I'm working, I'm busy right now. So just be aware of this. With the world reversed, this isn't about the whole big world. This is about you. This is about you. This is about your world. This is about what you want, what you're looking for, and where you need to be. So looking at this, acknowledging this is going to be very important. And I'm just going to see if I can fix my camera just a little bit for you guys. Okay, cool. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and Spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. So here we have 2. We have mindful and we have spontaneous. It's funny because we want to be we want to be very present, right? We want to be very mindful of how present we are, of what we're going after, of what we're moving towards. And we also want to be spontaneous. We want to kind of have a bit of an adventure during this time, open up our world, open up ourselves, and really say, how can I move forward? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I desire? So, here, being mindful, being very present, having little rituals during this time that you can do is so beautiful. It's going to be so important for you. And then spontaneous, just kind of going out of your comfort zone, opening up the doors, doing things, going after, what you want, embracing that spontaneity is again a very beautiful, very important thing for us. But that mindfulness, that being present, that's going to be a very beautiful thing. Let's see our chakra energy for this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is personal power reverse. This is the solar plexus chakra. Now, we can have a tendency during this time to ignore our gut feeling and think, oh no, that's silly. No, during this time, listen to your gut. Also, be mindful and present with your gut. So that's going to be a very powerful thing, saying, what am I feeling? How am I feeling this? How am I showing up for myself? That's going to play a huge part during this time for us. So being aware of this, focusing on the solar plexus chakra, listening to your gut, listening to what you desire, listening to what you need is going to be a very, very, very big thing. Also, the foods that you eat, your stomach is going to tell you a lot during this time. We cannot listen, of course, but our stomach is really going to be speaking to us. We're going to say, oh, I have a gut feel about this, or, my gut's upset, or, I have an upset stomach, those type of things. That's our solar plexus. That's our solar plexus chakra talking to us. So it's going to be very chatty during this time. Are we going to have a tendency to listen? No, we're going to think, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. My stomach is upset, or oh my gosh, how embarrassing. I, I, I I'm just being nervous all the time. Listen to your gut feels. They're there for a reason, and it can also be that you're heading down a different path, right? You're heading towards an awakening. You're heading towards something. You're heading towards a transformation, and we're kind of holding back from it. It's like, oh, no, I don't really want to do that. I'm really good right here. Thank you. This I understand. This I know. So just be aware of this here. Let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is justice. Now, this can be Libra energy, but what we need to be mindful of are the fact that some things aren't just. They aren't fair. And that's a hard pill to swallow. When we're little and we're reading books, watching movies, there's a level of justice to things, good triumphing over evil, and justice and beauty coming forward. So being aware of this during this time, that it's not always like that. That can be very upsetting. Okay, so an acknowledgement of that, also an acknowledgement that we're going to be very sensitive to things that are out of balance, out of harmony, and that's going to be something that we need to acknowledge. It's like, okay, this is out of balance. How do I put it back into balance? There's going to be an insight to things that really start to open up our eyes, open us up to where we need to be moving to, or to what's really important right now. We then have the Death card. Now, again, this is Scorpio energy, October 23rd to November 21st. Those could have been trying times, or we have something that happened there that kind of threw us for a loop, like it knocked us off our game. So an acknowledgement of that is going to be very powerful and very important. With the Death card, there is a dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new, and a transformation that takes place. There's also strong psychic ability, strong empathic ability, strong kind of sixth sense ability coming forward. Because this is reversed, we can be having a hard time connecting with it, understanding it, letting the door open. We can really be wanting to hold ourselves in a place where we're comfortable. And Spirit's like, okay, you're comfortable here. I get that. But now our journey is taking us somewhere else. It's opening up the door in a way that we hadn't anticipated and we didn't realize. Then it brings us to the Six of Cups. We will have a tendency during this time to have the past be so powerful to us and really dictating and guiding the way that we move forward in our present. So with the Six of Cups, there is a sense, okay? And there can be like, oh, I just want to recreate XYZ. that happened once upon a time in our lives. It could be a really good time. It's usually a really good time, but it can also be, I want to make sure that XYZ never happens again, right? So it can be also a traumatic time. And that can lead us to having a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear and a lot of chaos around us because we can't replicate the past. We just can't. And we can't protect ourselves from the past. It is what happened and it is what makes us up. So, here, an acknowledgement of the Six of Cups, the acknowledgement of everything that we have been through, an honoring of our story, and then kind of blowing it like dandelion fluff into the wind and saying, okay, you have taken seed inside of me. Now it's time to move on. Now it's time for me to move forward. That's going to be a very important thing for us, Cancer. It brings us to the Ace of Wands. God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe is handing us a gift of fire, of determination, of a bit of magic coming into our lives. Now, we don't have a court card wand, coming up. We might have it subconsciously, but we don't have it coming up yet. Do we take this? Yes, it's upright position. So we do take this, but we don't know we're taking it. We don't know we're opening up this door. We don't know our fire, our passion, our determination, our focus, our insight is coming forward so strongly. But do know here that our angels, our spirit guides, they're opening up a door in a way that we hadn't imagined before. They're telling us, listen, this is what you're passionate about. This is what you love. And you're going to see yourself guided towards certain things. And you're going to think, oh, wow, how did I stumble across this? Like, how did I start watching this YouTube video that tells me how to do XYZ? Or why did I meet this person? Or why did I pick up this book? Those type of things are going to be happening. And it's going to be rather synchronicitous, right? Is that a word? I don't know. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to have a synchronicity to it. It's like one thing happens and then another thing. And then all of a sudden, it leads us on this adventure, but also falling more and more into alignment with ourselves, our fire, our passion, our determination. And it brings us then to the moon reversed, which is Pisces energy, right? The time frame is February 19th to March 20th. This can be a difficult time for us for one reason or another. So an acknowledgement of that is super important. Here we have, the face, and we have the crab, and we have, here's a circus, there's a dog. But it can be also that our fears tend to take on a life of their own during this time, that we can be a little bit more afraid, a little bit more uncertain. I also see the moon, and I've been seeing the moon as like an eye. In the new moon, it's an eye that closes. And then, it opens all the way on the new moon, and then it starts to close again. And that's our life, right? We open into awakening, right? Our eyes become open, and then they start to close again. And then we awaken again. So we're always going through this journey of learning, of deeper understanding, of deeper insight, of a deeper connection with ourselves. And we can just have a lot of fear come forward. And we might not know where this fear is coming from. We can think, oh wow, I'm really, set, like everything's great. And then all of a sudden there can be panic attacks. All of a sudden there can be a sense that the world just becomes so much more real. You know how you can read things in the news and you can see things and it's distant. I don't know if you have this, but I definitely do. It's not distant anymore. It's not distant. It's all so real. It's all so heartbreaking. It's all so overwhelming. And there's no distance between it. It's like you feel every single thing, and it becomes astoundingly overwhelming. If that is you, first of all, I apologize that you're going through that. It is hard, to say the least. But here, there's a sense of like, I need to quiet it down, right? What happens in the moon? The moon is nighttime. The moon is quiet. And just slowing your life down to what you can handle right now is going to be the most important thing that you can do. The moon reversed brings up fears. We can face these fears with fear or with anger, depending on how we respond to being afraid in our personalities. But it's understanding that energy of fight, flight, or freeze is very prevalent right now. And it can paralyze us. It can stop us from moving forward. But if we look at it and we start to calm down our lives, we start to quiet things. When you go outside under the moon and it's just quiet, especially if you don't live in a city, right? Or, a busy area, it's just quiet. That's just so important. And it's so beautiful. So here, embracing the quiet, embracing the slowing it down without seeing yourself as a failure, because you're not a failure. You need to take on what your body can handle right now. And there's a lot going on in this world. you know, from celestially to physically the earth itself, to people on this earth, it's just a lot. So understand that, especially if you're more sensitive, you're going to be responding to this and you might not know what the heck is going on. And you might think, wow, I'm just not handling this well. And yet you are. You are. It's just a lot. So give yourself some grace. It brings us then to the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is prosperity and success. It's hard work, it's dedication, and it's really being focused. It's like, okay, I'm going to focus in, I'm going to dive in, and I'm going to go after this. You can lose yourself in your work during this time, Cancer. It will be so easy to lose yourself in your work, lose yourself in the details of things, getting everything just right, having everything be just so. That's awesome. That's awesome. You can be so productive, so financially prosperous during this time. But just be mindful about this, because it's almost like, okay, I can do this. I can do this well. And I'm just going to numb out or block out everything else and put noise-proof headphones on and dive in. So just be mindful about this here with the Eight of Pentacles. Highly successful, highly prosperous time. But it can also be a little bit of an escapism. Not that the job doesn't have to be done, but that it can really take over things. So just be mindful about this. The World reversed. The World reversed is saying, listen, it's not about jet setting. It's not about the opening up of doors. It's not about, all these different things. It is about your world. It is about the universe within. The fact that stardust runs through your veins, an acknowledgement of your power, an acknowledgement of your story, of your grace, of your determination, of your focus, of you. And this is going to be a time where you can look at the world, but you really start to look at yourself. And you really start to say, okay, what do I need? Where do I need to be? How is it that I'm moving forward to best fulfill me? And that's going to be a very, very, very powerful thing. The sense of the universe coming within, the sense of beauty and grace and determination leading us forward in the most exquisite of ways. The world is reversed, right? We don't have control over the world as much as we would want to. And that can seem completely overwhelming. So acknowledge this. You might need to turn off the news. Seriously, guys. Especially if you start to see, even if you turned off your news or on your feed on whatever, you're getting this information and it's messing with you. You might need to be a little bit ignorant. And I know nobody likes that, but for your own health and well-being, quieting things down can be very important. And here, knowing that I can only embrace my own universe, my own self. And by living in the highest energy vibration, in love and in peace, in harmony and in grace, I can move things forward. And there is power here. That's a really beautiful thing. Our subconscious spirit message is gratitude. We might look at the world and we might look at ourselves and just feel so overwhelmed and say, there's nothing I am grateful for. And that's okay. That's okay. Because here Spirit says subconsciously, you know your gratitude, you know your grace, you know your power. Say thank you. Say thank you to yourself. Say thank you to your body. Start saying thank you. Start embracing that gratitude. Fall into the gratitude hole. Absolutely embrace, this love, this joy, this prosperity, this beauty of life and existence. Because you're going to start to see that once you do this, once you start embracing gratitude, or even acknowledging if you feel like just so overwhelmed by the world or overwhelmed by emotions, stating that. And maybe even saying something that you think might be horrible. Oh, I'm not grateful for anything. You can not be grateful for something during a moment, when you look at things and just feel so overwhelmed. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself like you would be kind to a friend or a stranger, right? And here, just know that subconsciously, you're moving in gratitude. You're moving in love. Gratitude is opening up your arms to the world and saying thank you. And that might seem like the oddest thing to do, but there's beauty in that, and there's power in that, and there's beauty and there's power in you. So start saying thank you. Look at yourself in the mirror and say thank you. Say thank you to those that you love, or just say I love you, because that's like a thank you too. So here, and say that to yourself. Look in the mirror and say I love you, thank you. Gratitude is one of the most beautiful ways to guide us forward. And it's also something so easy to forget to do. Our subconscious chakra message. It's the solar plexus chakra reversed again. And this is self mastery. We can feel like we don't have a handle on ourselves, where we're going, how we're moving forward, what we're going after. So, an acknowledgement of that is going to be important. Here, just knowing that you need to pay attention to your gut. You need to pay attention to what you want, to what you love, to what you desire in your life, and open up the doors to you. Listen to your gut during this time. It's talking a lot, and we're just thinking, oh, this is nonsense. Oh, this is nonsense. It's not. It's power. You are powerful. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is strength reverse. This is Leo energy, so you can be dealing with a negative Leo. If you're born on the cusp with Leo time frame is July 23rd to August 22nd. If you're born on a cusp with being a Leo, okay, it can be that you're just not jiving with this energy right now. If you have it in your chart, you can feel like this part of your personality is giving you difficulty, but this is might equals right. This is needing to be the center of attention in a very destructive, kind of harmful way. I can only think about my emotions. I can only think about what I need. And it doesn't matter what everybody else needs, what everybody else feels. So acknowledging this chaos in our lives is just going to be important. Acknowledging that there can be a certain level of fierceness to things. Okay. Strength is fierceness, determination, focus. But I'm just seeing that red come forward. It can be anger. It can be frustration. It can be a bit of chaos. So acknowledging this and saying it's not going to rule me, especially you, Cancer. It's so interesting. I always thought it was so interesting that Cancer then goes into Leo because you're so feeling. You're so feeling Cancer. And it's kind of like you could live as gently and calmly as possible. Like you would totally, kind of slide into there. And Leo is ruled by the sun. I mean, you're ruled by the moon. Leo's ruled by the sun. It's like, I'm going to be loud. I'm going to be shining. I'm going to be right in the middle of everything. And it just seems like such opposite energies coming forward. So here, this is very much that negative glory hog, chaotic energy of things. So be mindful of this. I'm not saying Leo energies are bad. I have many Leos in my family and they're wonderful. But this is saying here that it can be a bit much. So just be mindful about this. Everybody has their negative attributes, and this is coming forward. Our subconscious tarot message is the Five of Cups reversed. So the Five of Cups is change your mind and change your life. And that can be a little bit difficult for ourselves during this time. So an acknowledgement of that we can get kind of a little bit hyper fixated on things. So saying, okay, listen, I see it, I hear it, I get it. I'm looking at this too much. That's going to be a really important thing to know about ourselves during this time. To be able to turn from what we think we are supposed to be focusing on, entering into that, level of gratitude and turning towards the Two of Cups, the healing, beautiful love, that's going to be a game changer. Remember to turn towards love. During this time, during our whole entire lives on this earth, turn towards love. That's one of the most important things we could possibly do. All right. All right. Cancer, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony. Cancer, may blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.